There are some public figures whose faces feel familiar long before their stories are truly known. She was one of them, a presence associated with calm, grace, and reassurance, yet shaped by a life far more complex than her image suggested. Long before audiences welcomed her into their homes, her story had already been marked by movement, change, and quiet endurance. She was born into a world that would not remain stable for long. When her family separated, childhood became a lesson in adaptation. A new life in California brought both uncertainty and possibility, along with a household shaped by layered cultures, languages, and traditions. It was a home where curiosity was encouraged and belief was offered as choice rather than command. As a girl, she was energetic and fearless, more drawn to motion than to comfort, already developing the resilience that would later define her. Her early ambitions pointed toward a sensible, structured future. University seemed to promise exactly that, but a single unexpected opportunity abroad shifted the course of everything. What began as a temporary detour became a doorway into performance and self-discovery. When she returned, she committed herself fully, training as an actress while supporting herself through ordinary work, learning independence in anonymity. The first roles were small and easily overlooked. Progress came slowly, and with it the familiar frustrations of being misunderstood and narrowly defined. Still, persistence has a way of reshaping fate. A brief appearance on a television series, almost insignificant at the time, became the unseen turning point. When the show was reimagined, so was her place in it, and suddenly she was no longer on the margins. Just as recognition began to take hold, life intervened with a far more serious challenge. Illness forced her to confront how fragile even the strongest plans can be. But she endured. And when she returned, she did so not only as an actress on the rise, but as someone who had already learned how easily everything can be taken away. Success arrived not as a sudden spectacle, but as a steady presence that quietly reshaped her life. The role that defined her career placed her in the homes of millions and turned her into a symbol of strength, intelligence, and calm authority. Yet even at the height of that success, her life was never limited to what appeared on screen. Motherhood soon became the center of her world, and rather than retreating from work, she allowed real life to exist alongside fiction. For a time, career and family moved in careful balance, but nothing in television or in life lasts forever. When the long-running series that had shaped her public identity came to an end, she was once again faced with the need to begin again. She chose roles that challenged expectations, revealing a depth and vulnerability that had long been hidden behind composed and confident characters. Away from the spotlight, she chose a quieter rhythm, valuing privacy over constant visibility. Her marriage eventually came to a close, not in bitterness but in mutual resolve, with both parents focused on protecting their children from unnecessary upheaval. It was after this that the most quietly debated chapter of her personal life began. Years of shared living, partnership, and mutual support sparked endless speculation, but she never offered her private world for public consumption. Some relationships, she seemed to believe, do not require explanation. Professionally, she continued forward, returning at times to familiar roles and at others surprising audiences with darker, more complex work. Beneath it all was a consistent philosophy that stability is built from within, not granted by fame. In the end, her story is not defined by reinvention, but by intention. She remains both well-known and deeply private, a reminder that the most important parts of any life often exist far from the camera's reach.